Your world is what you make it. But of course, before you can change your world, you have to believe that you can change it. I once worked with this man who had been diabetic for years. His doctor referred him to therapy because he had some bad mental habits that were starting to affect his physical health. His mother had died from complications of diabetes at a young age, so he just believed he was doomed, and he'd given up trying to manage his blood sugar altogether. In fact, his blood sugar had gotten so high lately that it was starting to affect his vision, and he had his driver's license taken away, and his world was shrinking. When he came into my office, it was clear he knew all the things he could do to manage his blood sugar. He just didn't think it was worth the effort. But eventually, he agreed to make one small change. He said, "I'll give up my 2-liter-a-day Pepsi habit, and I'll trade it in for Diet Pepsi." And he couldn't believe how quickly his numbers started to improve. And even though he came in every week to remind me how horrible Diet Pepsi tasted, he stuck with it. And once he started to see a little bit of improvement, he said, "Well, maybe I could look at some of my other habits." And he said, "I could trade in my nightly bowl of ice cream for a snack with a little less sugar." And then one day he was at a thrift store with some friends, and he found this beat-up old exercise bike. He bought it for a couple of bucks, and he brought it home and he parked it in front of his TV. And he started to pedal while he'd watch some of his favorite shows every night. And not only did he lose weight, but one day he noticed he could see the TV just a little bit more clearly than he had before. And suddenly it occurred to him, maybe the damage done to his eyesight wasn't permanent. So he set a new goal for himself to get his driver's license back. And from that day forward, he was on fire. By the end of our time together, he was coming in every week saying, "Okay, what are we going to do this week?" Because he finally believed that he could change his world and that he had the mental strength to change it and that he could give up his bad mental habits. And it all started with just one small step. So I invite you to consider what bad mental habits are holding you back. What unhealthy beliefs are keeping you from being as mentally strong as you could be? And what's one small step that you could take today, right here, right now?